Next up on Howler for an Hour, we have Time Bandit. Interesting story about this review, Key. I got it via email. Specifically, the developer emailed me directly, Joel Jordan. He basically noticed that I played Moon, the anti-RPG, and he noticed I played that and thought I might be interested in checking this out, because this is also an adventure game with time mechanics, kind of like Moon. I don't think it's nearly identical, but it did look intriguing, and it has a kind of retro PS1 style to it. Not so much in retro PS1 pixel art like Moon, but more in polygons. This one seemed pretty cool. Quirky. I'm not sure how good it is, but yeah, it caught my attention. As far as I know, the plot of this game is that you're... What was it? What did I write down? Because I completely lost the file from what I wrote down. Congratulations, Charm. You are disorganized. Oh well. I believe you're like just a 9-to-5 worker. Yeah, that's right. Time Bandit's a story-driven adventure game of time-based mechanics with a twist that it actually takes place in real time. Oh, okay. That's the twist. I knew there was a twist. You have to manage your money and fuel, make sure your energy meter doesn't drop all the way while you wait for boxes to finish moving, trees to finish growing, and more. The world changes depending on the time of day and whether you're playing on or off your character's work shift. And the story unfolds slowly in real time. So, it's a game where, in a Howler for an Hour, we may not see a lot of forward-moving progress, but it's intriguing all the same. So basically, it's implying that it factors in real time. So, for instance, right now it is 11:40 p.m. because I'm going late tonight. So, I guess the fact it's nearly midnight will be reflected in some way in-game. I guess we'll find out, though. Let's just hop in, of course. Of course, before we fully begin, if you like the video, do think about giving it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, well, think about doing that too. If you really want to help out, though, come over to Twitch, because I'm trying to reach partner, need more viewers to do so, and whether you want to lurk or talk, if you add to the view count, you are making a good difference. Also, I have a pretty cool Discord community if you want to check that out, and I have a Coffee link if you want to help directly monetize my content. All links are in the description, so check them out if you want to. Now, this is how the game starts, by the way. As far as I know, no title screen, just boom, select a file. Okay, let's do file 1. This is our facility where everything begins. At least it's where everything used to begin. These days, it's a bit of a mess, but that's where you come in. Okay, Mr. Pincer. Please allow me to be the first to wish you an official good evening on the job. It is an evening. And a very warm welcome to Bandit and Chronometrics Multinational, saving time since 1889. As I'm sure you've read on our website, you're already aware that our mission is to satisfy you by providing the opportunity to get in a good day's work every day for the foreseeable future. While your mission is to use our newly devised automatic forklifts to get all these boxes out of the way. Okay. I didn't set up for this. Have you any other open positions? What? Have you learned to recognize when someone's offering you a good opportunity, son? No, this is all we got at the moment. Now, the forklifts need fuel to run, and since you're an independent contractor, you're responsible for funding that with your own paycheck. Oh, okay, that's great. It's like Skip the Dishes or Uber Eats. Yay! At least you don't have anything to get your hands dirty or break your back. The job will just take a little thought and more than anything commitment. Tell you what, since you've been such a good listener, I'll give you a forklift and a gallon of fuel for free. Thanks for just giving me a forklift. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you, sir. That's the spirit. Now open up your inventory by Howler 2 and release it to select the forklift. Okay. I guess that one? Go up to the side of that box that's blocking the entrance to the facility. Press A to start pushing it. Okay. Goodbye. I can't leave. Press A to start pushing. Okay. Ah, I see. Confirm. I have to pour fuel. Hold on. It's a quick time bit. Was that enough? Ew, that sure was a rush of action, wasn't it? We like to keep things lively around here. Your energy meter goes down at a much faster rate when you're doing labor-intensive work like that, so you make sure you press those buttons as fast as you can. Speaking of which, did you notice your energy meter in the upper left corner of the screen, right? You mean the one where I look really scared? That'll increase automatically while you're working. If we find you out of conscience out here, we'll have no choice but to throw you in jail. Sounds reasonable. Jail? Sounds reasonable. Small measure the government back when there was a government allows to take. Say it teaches a little lesson on discipline, helps keep years of economy. Did you fade at work? That's jail with you, buddy. You're incarcerated now. You're welcome to go home and rest of the quarters set for you in town, whatever you need to. Okay. Public Housing Authority. Sleeping in your apartment will gradually replace your energy meter. It can take up to 8 hours to fill up all the way, depending on how low it is. You need a full night's rest to be in tip-top shape to work the following day. Going home to your apartment and sleep will also save the game. Doesn't save automatically? No, you need to go home and save. If you quit one game while you're out here working, you'll fall asleep right where you're standing. And then you'll find yourself in jail when you wake up. Okay, fair enough. Forklift will take some time to finish pushing that box. Lucky for you, I only set this one up as a little test for the real thing. It's quite a bit lighter than the others you'll find in there. I'll be finished moving soon. Eventually, you're going to have to learn to be patient and accept what you don't have any control over. That's just life. Your wisdom's awe-inspiring. Watch your sarcasm. Just try to pass on a bit of common sense to you, son. It'd be good to learn to think it too from it. This is a weird game, but I can tell that already. While you're waiting, why don't you go to town and buy an axe? Why? The guy at the gas station probably sells them. It's the only shop in town. He sells everything now. Anyway, you're going to need the axe to cut down a tree from wood at the forest on the other side of town. Instantly, you'll find your accommodations behind the gas station and forest. Our admission the company is very kindly providing you with housing. Maybe you can stop in and save your game on the way and chop down the tree. You don't want to lose all this progress to me, alright, do you? Why am I chopping down the tree? Don't take it as a suggestion for rest for long right now, though. Come back here when you've got the wood. I'll give you a call on your radio with further instructions. Catch on that? Yes, sir. Okay, great. You're a fast learner. In case you're somehow forgotten something, I'll give you my number. You can help your radio to call me. Press an L1. Don't worry, I'll let you go with your hands soon. But I'll tell you right now, what comes after ain't much better. Better get used to it, son. Feel like work here about having fun. I guess it isn't. Huh. Oh. Weird first-person mode. Okay. So it is 11:46:38 p.m. Okay. Yep, that is accurate to my my actual clock, so. Huh. Surprisingly light out for this hour. Somebody crashed into this tree. Or pole, I can't tell which. I see a burger shop. That's a good thing. I need to focus on buying axe first. This is a very odd game, though. Welcome to my gas station. I haven't seen you around before. You must be new in town. Let me guess, you're looking for an axe. How'd you know? New folks in town are always coming in telling me they've been tasked to chop down a tree. Strange, isn't it? Shouldn't have to be the first to tell you, folks, that there's not many trees left these days. Can hardly believe the damage the company has done to this place. But I don't blame you or me for just going along with things. We got bills to pay. I resigned myself to that long ago. There's too few jobs where you get to do something good. My canvassing days are over. Take a look around town. There isn't a damn soul to spread the word to. It's just you new hires of the company who continue to stop by. They hired you to clean up some boxes, I suppose. Simple sounding enough. I'll bet whatever you end up doing will somehow be making things even worse. It's always that way. No matter how bad things get, we life forms adapt. The new becomes normal for us soon enough. And that's at least one thing we've got over the machines. Ah, there I go, giving my super serious monologues to new folks again. Get slowly around here, you might imagine. How'd you find your way to this ghost town? I really have no clue. Amnesia? How tiresome. Sure, memory goes froggy. We'll forget all this in one day. But you can't let that keep you from having a sense of purpose in the here and now. Maybe you'll figure it out eventually. Welcome to town anyway. The strangest, the unfamiliarity overwhelms you at the start. The feeling will fade just as you grow used to it all. And I assure you, you will. It just takes a bit of time. Well, I won't hold you up any longer. Here you are. It'll be $5. It's a pretty cheap axe. If you need to refuel, you can use the pumps outside. Don't burn too much gas if you can help it. But I know you don't have much of a choice. A job's a job. Now, what will I do when they're gone and I'm all alone again? I know. I'll give you my number so you can keep in touch. I've learned quite a bit about the natural history of this place. I won't get really misty on natural history while they're at it either. As you could say, I study the environment, all that they've done to destroy it all for time. I've lived here my whole life, so I have a lot to share. Perhaps you'll find it interesting. Don't be shy. If you find yourself next to anything that piques your curiosity, I'll be on my radio by pressing L1 and give me a call. Buy or buy? Buy. Buy a seed. Oh, okay. Best to use a fresh seed to plant a new tree after cutting one down if you don't want to be responsible for destroying what's left of the forest. Sounds good. Have fun. I'll have fun with my seed. Thank you. The price changes per day. Interesting. Okay. So, I got the axe. Great. Now head to the forest to cut down a tree using it. Where's the forest? Do I have to walk you through everything? Head east for the gas station to turn south. When you reach the other pass of the outskirts of town, the forest will be on your right. Okay? Low on fuel. You should try to use as little as possible to do whatever you need to do. The stuff's still made out of fossil fuels. Of course, as the owner of a gas station, the RV being the one to tell you this doesn't escape me. Call me a hypocrite. I'm just trying to survive. So I suppose I should just tell you to come on by and fill up before you find yourself trying to move a box and realize you can't. Maybe even stock up so you don't have to track pack as often. Sorry for going on like this. My sense of responsibility I bear is my own problem to deal with, not yours. I just feel awful about it. As I'm sure you're aware, burning fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It's the most significant contributor to global warming. Moreover, while technically renewable, it sure isn't on any human timescale. The energy contained in fossil fuels is formed by the application of heat and pressure of dead plants and animals over the Earth's surface over millions of years. We should have transitioned from fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas to renewables like solar power, wind, and water before it was too late. But here I am still selling this stuff. But clearly I'm not very good at advertising, but that's what the big billboards in town's for. You've seen it, right? Sure you have. Can't miss it. Come on by to my gas station, fill up at the pumps. Huh. Oh, I can crawl, apparently. What is going on with these lights? Do I have like a... Oh. Last stop gas! No, wait! Keep a full tank. That's a very strange type of clock to have is in just the city square. Like, why a giant grandfather clock? I mean, sure, why not? Let's see here. Wait, these lights are completely still. What? Anything else you want to tell me about? What's with this place? Not much of a place, is it? Highway in and out, pretty much a working town. At least since the company moved in and brought in so much labor. These now empty streets used to be full of cars from all the folks commuting in and products shipping out. So many people. But they had hardly any time to stop between home and work to do anything. It's like everyone was trapped in a loop, doing so much all the time, but never getting anywhere. Boxed in along the predetermined paths of city roads. Now it's all come to a dull crawl. It's nicer in a way, having all the extra space to walk without all the cars, but it's ghostly. I miss the people, even if they were sometimes always inevitably absorbed in something else. Sometimes you have to take a stroll around town just to get your minds off things. Sure, it wastes energy, but walking aimlessly and just moving your body around can help you think about a problem in a whole new way. Or it can just help you take your mind off things. Plus, have you seen those sunsets? Still gorgeous. Or the stars at night? The one thing even buildings can't block out of the sky. Personally, I recommend sky games for the beach. It's nice taking a walk along there. There's still some good spots isolated from all the industrial garbage, where it's just you and the horizon. I don't get out and go on walks as much as I like anymore, so make sure you take one for me, alright? And he sure knows how to talk a lot. That's a hospital. Oh, this must be where the... That must be where the trees are. What is that? What is that there? Interesting. Everything's like blocked off here. But why? Go off the grid. Forest. I probably should have saved, huh? Oh well, I'll just cut this tree down first. Well, good thing I stood on the right side of it. Rip tree. How do I plant the, let's see. Plant seed. There we go. Oh, that grew fast. Okay, I'll take literally one full cycle of 24 hours, real time, of course, for that tree to grow. Which honestly makes it still a pretty fast growing tree. So I'd like to ask you guys, what vibe is this game giving you? Because it's a very unique vibe so far. Got the wood. What now? How bad's your memory, son? Bring the wood back to where we first spoke. The fourth lift should be finished. Move that box by now. Give further instructions once you arrive. We have some lights on in this city. Good question. I know the company's got a power plant up in the mountains. It's possible they run the power lines all the way down here. They need to keep the electricity going at the HQ they have in town. The contractors they hired on are still hard at work in the offices to design more tools to automate the company's mining activities. And there are, I'm sure, bigger projects that only the higher-ups know anything about. Can't be anything good. Either way, I don't know why they bother keeping the traffic lights going when there isn't any traffic anymore. It's spooky, if you ask me. If you're stuck in a puzzle, you might want to consider setting it aside and return to it later. Obvious solution might come to you suddenly when you return to it. I think you're out of dialogue finally. What do you know? Huh. What's that? I kind of like how it's top down, but then there's like a first person view, which kind of lets you look around and figure out things. Not a bad system. Also, clearly I should be going up there. Yeah, it does fill a bit instantly. Public Housing Authority. Here we go. Let's save the game. I just like how I can enter first person anytime I want. Oh. I'm gonna presume that's not what I'm supposed to be seeing, but... The hallway is giant. Or rather, I'm giant. Asleep. Ah, very good apartment. I get slightly diagonal bed and giant message on wall telling me what I do with it. Wake up, quick game. Okay, so that saves the game. Very good apartment I have here. I appreciate the instruction manual for the bed. Very much so. Yeah, keeping the balance. It looked like that was optional, by the way. I didn't have to plant a new tree. But I'm going to assume that was probably a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to go to... certain levels in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. That's the vibe you're getting? Oh, I think I kind of get it, because like that's a game that takes place at night and has a lot going on at night. What is this yard for? Huh. This game has some pretty good vibes going on, honestly. Like, I really like how the lights just occasionally get blown around by the wind. Huh. Okay, so this entire area is, like, locked off to me right now. I want to check out the Cold Burger restaurant. Kind of looks like a burger throne. Also, there's the beach the guy was telling us about. Okay. Can't seem to get down there either. At least not here. Yeah, it's blocked off too. So these areas must open up later then. Should I ask why this building is surrounded by a little moat? Lots of empty spaces, yeah. My face increases with sleep. It does. I've reacquired my forklift because it's out of the way. What even is this, though? It's more meat from death trash. Incoming call. So I see you made it in. How'd you know? We got a camera up there watching for you when entering and leaving. Just a precaution. I'm sure we don't have to worry about you getting up to any trouble. Surveillance camera. You got the wood, right? Start building a bridge across the water at the first bridge building station on your left. What? What if I build out the second bridge building station on my left? Then you would be following orders. You should follow all orders. What's on the other side of the second bridge building station on your left isn't a priority right now. Okay, sure. I'll definitely follow all your orders. One question, though. I can't just swim across? Now, if you don't want the toxins to seep into your skin, now to be sure, we implement all recommendations of a yearly internal review of environmental costs and trade-offs. But we can't always help things get a little dirty when we're doing tough work, now can we? Once you get to the other side of the first bridge building station, look for the essential item over there that you'll need to complete a lot of other tasks. You'll likely have to move some more blocks out of the way to get to it. There's probably not too much more you can do while the bridge is busy building. Ah yes, there's a big project I'll need you to take care of the mines of the east. Take your first ride at the shipping containers and head out of the building. Keep going until you reach the entrance to the cave. You'll find some instructions I left there for your reference. Make sure to go check it out before signing up for the day. But first, start building that bridge. Don't forget to equip the wood by holding R2 and selecting it with up and down. Is that a starfish? Alright, well, what if I do want to build the first bridge to the station on the left? Great, you didn't listen to me and you built the bridge in the wrong place. Did you do that on purpose? No, sir. My instructions were clear. You'd be a lot more careful in the future. So on doing it, once you initiate action, you can't cancel it. I strongly recommend using a seed to plant another tree and gather more wood ASAP. You need the essential item that's on the other side of the first bridge building station. If I say you can use it on the other side of the bridge you already started building, but you might not want to rely on it. Well, the choice is yours. So you made it clear you don't listen to me, I'll stop holding your hand from here on out. Just have to learn from the consequences of your actions yourself. I want the crystal. Also, consequences? What's that? I do not know these things called consequentillages. What are they? Good God, I forgot to tell you the most important thing! That crystal you just picked up. That's what we're sitting in here to find. Bring any crystal you find over to the camera right away for us to process. And we'll give you a little bonus. Along with your paycheck each day, of course. Oh, okay. $2 an energy bill. The pill might come in handy if your energy meter is low. If you don't think you'll have time to get back to home before you pass out. If you just can't get enough of working. Swallow the energy pill for a nice boost. That way you can avoid going to jail. Remember though, the only way to save your game is to go home and sleep. I think that's really all you need to know for now. So congratulations on completing your orientation and welcome to the team. Now, it wasn't so bad, was it? Sometimes I doubt this will be any of your problems though. So there's always more to learn on this job. Tell you what, since I got a lot of other work to get back to, I'll give you the number to IT. If you have any other concerns, press L1 up your radio and call May. From now on, she can give you support to all the minor details of your job. Well, good luck. Give it all your 100%. Collect those crystals. Back to work. I like how he's like, I'm not holding your hand anymore, and then he immediately holds my hand. Hey there, we can be a little harsh, to say the least. How long have you been dealing with that for? For as long as I've been working here. It's quite a while now. He never does settle down, but you get used to it. His lectures can get pretty long-winded, too. But don't worry. Your energy meter doesn't go down while you're talking to people. I'm May. If you need any support, you better call me first rather than the boss. I can give you hints for the particular puzzles you encounter. I'm handy with tech, and I'm pretty good at understanding systems in general. So if you're confused about how to use your equipment, or how any other game mechanics work, I can fill you in on that too. You have to learn from your own experiences at the end of the day, but I can point you in the right direction. Build a few survival skills in this world. They pay me, not well, and lend me a tiny office space, but apart from that, I'm all on my own out here. That's all I need. I can tinker around with stuff, play computer games when I need a break. I make my own way. Don't rely on anyone. Did he fret? Nope, not interested. Prefer it if we keep things strictly professional. It's just my job to help, but I don't mind it. Anyway, you're a novice. But with time, you should harden yourself. You have to. Boss's diatribes are frankly nothing compared to the sorts of things the really powerful people in the company can do. Be careful out there. Don't hesitate to call for help. Alright, let's talk some more. It's taking so long for things to finish. I know, but don't let it get to you. It's easy to get addicted to thinking about what you're going to do next or checking if it's done yet. That's probably not very helpful and definitely not good for your health. When you have no choice but to wait, the best thing you distract yourself is focus on other things. This is one thing among many in your life, I'm sure. And all it takes is slow but steady progress. Getting obsessed with accomplishing any one thing that takes a lot of time can be to the detriment of accomplishing all the other things you could be doing in the meantime. You can always take note of how long is left by looking at the timer that appears above the box or other processes you set in motion. But that doesn't mean you have to come right back when it's all finished either. You might still need some time to rest and fill up that energy meter of yours. There's no rush. Just try to keep your mind off it when it's in front of you and just come back every now and then. You'd be surprised how much progress you can make over time by chipping away at it little by little. You can use wood bridges at the company patented bridge building stations that you find. Throw in a log and they'll do the rest of the work, cutting into nice planks and laying them out evenly in a row. Wow, it's so easy and convenient. It's a shame that they just aren't bridges, though. Like, for the first, constructed bridges. Maybe instead of making cool technology, they could just construct bridges. Just a thought. The only drawback of this solution is the stations are pre-programmed data determining everything about how the bridge will be built. They only go in one direction, and they're preset to span a distance that will allow them to reach the other side, no more. That means you can't use the wood to build a bridge anywhere you like. You can't even build it from the other side that a bridge building station would build to. You can only build it from the bridge building station. Every brilliant new technology can make things easier, but you're relying on something even more complicated that was made by the work of others. It's not like a process that you have some understanding and can intervene on. You can only do with it what's been set up to do. Automation can lock us in, so that the old skills are forgotten with time. And trust me, you need some carpentry skills if it weren't for those bridge building stations. When you take certain actions, you'll experience what's called a quick time event, QT. For example, moving a box will initiate QT to load a forklift with fuel. The physical exertion required, your energy will drain at a much faster rate than normal during QTEs, so you should try to complete the on-screen instructions as quickly as possible. The longer you take, the more energy you'll lose. A lot of people don't like quick time events, but maybe you can think of those little rituals whose lively motions you repeat periodically to secure each commitment you make. I just find QTEs amusing, personally. You should be able to find some ladders in the facility that will take you up to the catwalks. The catwalks are old and rickety, so they may have broken in places to prevent you from crossing them. There's a crawl space in the northern part of the facility that could be made for a useful shortcut in the future if you can open up access to it. To get to it from the inside of the facility, you may have to build some more bridges. From the outside of the building, there's a lot of stuff in the way, including quite a bit of trash and some tricky fencing. Clearing the way from that side might be more difficulty. It's never a bad idea to plant more trees. You can buy seeds from the gas station and plant them in the forest at any time. Who knows when they might come in handy. I don't have enough money for another one. Actually, no, I do. Are you doing okay? Remember, you can always take a break if things get too overwhelming. Just go home to sleep. It'll save your progress. You can take your time before coming back to it. Oh my god, thank goodness. I have exhausted dialogue. I was trying to do that. It just seemed like a good idea. Also, it's worth noting. I think this is one of those games where eventually I'm going to just reach a point where it's like, oh, can't make any more progress. Like, I bet this is one of those games where I legitimately... Oh, god damn it. There's always more! Those are piles of trash that someone must have left lying around. The way they are right now, your forklift can't pick them up. You're gonna need to find some other tool to deal with them first. Have you solved the puzzle on the other side of the bridge yet? Nope. Wrong bridge. I'm just gonna look around more. Like, I think this is one of those games where you're, like, gonna have to stop playing, come back in a day or two, and then keep playing. Oh, so those are piles of trash. I get it. Now, those games are... I mean, obviously, they're not very fast-paced. Quite the opposite. But I do find them kind of interesting, actually. Another one that was really cool was The Longing. That one was a case of everything happening in real time and not enough fuel. Crane requires 5 gallons of fuel. Okay. That was a cool one. Okay, box. I could forklift this. Wait. Where would I forklift it? It's kind of like boxed in, actually. There we go. Got some stuff for that. Set it to pull instead of push. Read notice. Transfer all minecarts to the finish line. Minecarts actually fall down to the lower level. Return to the origins once above once they reach recycling. Don't mess up! Because that's where I need to do an objective. But before that... Hey, finally a game where wasting time is actually kind of beneficial. I could set it to pull, but I want to ask you this very simple question. If I set it to pull, where would it be going? It'd be going right, correct? So if it went right, it would just reach that rubble pile over there, and then I'd be stuck there. But I guess I wouldn't be stuck from the other direction. I suppose the idea is to pull it out of the way, or push it out of the way, so that I can get around to it from the other direction, I guess. That seems to be maybe what is going on there. So this is going to take a literal hour to complete. I have a little trick up my sleeve, though. You might already have an idea of what I might be trying to do. But once I literally run out of things to try, I'm going to test that out. One thing I want to do, though, is since we can actually afford the crane, I think. 5 gallons. We need 5 gallons of fuel. Let's see if I can get that much. Long-tailed duck. Okay. Sorry, just had to catch my breath. Who are you? Do you have any idea what you're doing by just giving them those crystals? No. We can't talk now. It's not safe. Can you meet me at the park? What time will it be free tomorrow? Park? Oh god, I have to set a time for the next day and then, like, schedule the visit to meet up with him. That's... Huh. Does this count as tomorrow? I don't know if this does. Write on your calendar. Oh, it's 12:30 then. Okay. Let's go look for a pen. Okay, I'll wait right here. Just make sure you write it down. Tomorrow, 12:30 a.m. See you then. Here, take my number just in case. If somehow you forget the time we signed on, open up the rail and press the L1 and give me a call. But whatever you do, don't miss a meeting. I promise you this. There's something more important in your life than what I have to tell you. See you tomorrow. This guy is an SCP Foundation member. I kind of see it. But also, this is a weird game. I kind of like it, though. This is a game that's going to require patience, but I do wonder, though. I wonder if it's immune to the trick. Do you guys know what the trick is? It's pretty easy. Anytime you got a time-based game that keeps track of your clock, what happens if I just advance the clock a day? Like my actual computer clock. I can only get 2 gallons. Time banditry on the computer. Exactly. You know, a seed. Oh, I don't have enough money. I was gonna buy another seed to plant another tree, but looks like I cannot afford that. I only have 1 gallon of fuel. It's enough for the forklift, I guess, but... Is this the park? Is this... I don't know what the park is. Alright, well, lacking a better idea. I feel as if time banditry, though... If this game is really focused around real-time waiting, it might be able to detect if I mess around like that. I guess we'll find out, though. All right, let's go over here again, and we'll do the mining thing, whatever this was. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. $30 minutes. Okay. Good night, Ace. I appreciate that I can just go in first person anytime I want. That meant the developer, instead of just having these fixed camera angles and thus, you know, being able to skip on rendering certain things, he could have just skipped on, you know, he could have just forced angles and not had to render particular walls or build particular details. But no, he gave the first person mode, so he had to actually render all the textures and stuff everywhere too. I kind of appreciate that effort. Let's see here. I've now taken TikTok. For some reason that makes me sleepy. Oh. Oh, hey. I guess this was today. Thanks for coming. I'll give you the rundown, kid. No time for questions. I'm glad that worked out. Saying the time like I did. In the 1980s, the company you're working for, during their regular mining activities, discovered a new chemical element, chromium. Colloquially known as the time crystals, this material, when gathered in large enough quantities, holds within it the power to slow, accelerate, and even reverse time. This was nothing less than the discovery, by modern science and technology, of a fountain of youth. They kept it all under wraps for the public, except for the wealthiest of the wealthy, the 1% of the 1%, whose investments they sought out with the promise of the magical ability to bend time to their will. As for the workers, they were digging up crystals that wealthy investors were paying billions for, and handing them over for a couple dollars and a drug that kept them awake, just like you. Here, I prepared a small presentation for you. These flipper noises. Karl Marx, the 19th century economist, wrote about surplus value, the money pocketed by the capitalists from the product of the laborer's work after subtracting wages. That is, the value of the labor not paid to the laborer. Only a certain amount of the workday is made up of necessary labor time. The time it takes for labor to make a product equal to what was paid for the labor. Whatever work is done beyond that time makes surplus value. It goes to the company. Fair enough. That's how jobs work. Marx expressed the growth of capital by means of exploitation of labor by the equation money, commodity, money, MCM. Money makes more money by buying the commodity of labor and extracting surplus value. This is the formula by which capital accumulated in the hands of the bourgeois for several centuries. Bourgeois? How do you say that word? That word is a word that I've never known how to say properly. Exponentially fueling inequality between the economic classes. So you see that just with good old-fashioned wage labor, the company could grow its wealth by paying its workers far less than their time was worth. But this wasn't enough for them. Not content with the rate of surplus value they achieved, they dreamed bigger. Their plan? Once they accumulated enough time crystals, they would build a machine that could be used to place all their workers inside of a bubble, in which whole lifetimes would pass in a mere instant for those watching on the outside. They would rapidly work generation after generation to death. Meanwhile, a small few, the shareholders who purchased the time crystals, their investments, along with the CEO, with the chance to work the reverse technological miracle in themselves, putting a cloak around them which time slows so they could live forever. Of course, they're a selfish bunch. The ranks have been dwindling amidst infighting. The board of directors now consists of just the most ruthless among them who can survive with cunning, or the brute force of capital. I thought it was Bosch. Boshwashi? Boshwashi? Buwaje? Buwaej? Ish? Buwaej? God, there's so many possible pronunciations here. There's ex-military general and arms supplier Captain Cortez. Is this like a... Are we doing like a Metal Gear Solid, like here's the main like commander bad guys? Okay. The mastermind scientist of human behavior, Dr. Iceman. The charismatic cult leader, Calvin Drake. And of course the CEO, Old Star. Their aim is to live essentially as immortal gods, accumulating capital until the sun burns out. They would need an unbelievable amount of time crystals to do all this. And we stopped them for a time. Bourgeoisie. I led our efforts to unite the workers, and we put a stop to work. Not only that, we infiltrated the company HQ to try to seize their design plans and materials for ourselves. And they brought in military force to crush us. Fun. It does seem very SCP-like, yes. I agree. But it's also got a bit of Metal Gear Solid to it, I'd say. I got away, but many were captured. Since I doubt they've given up on their plan, there's a good chance they're keeping them somewhere, ready to exploit once they've accumulated enough time crystals. In the meantime, they've hired a small contingent of independent contractors to operate the machines. This setup allows them to keep their workers separated from one another in space and time, preventing another revolt. They sit in and press the buttons, that's all. Just what's needed to keep the machines running and get the rest of the time crystals. They'll use them against you once you collect enough for them. Your lifetime reduced to a blip of capital added to their bank account. You're young, fresh, unradicalized, ignorant of all that happened. New to town, so not a soul to tell you about it. Well, that's why I'm here. Slap, slap, slap. I've been waiting patiently for the opportunity to meet you. I've been in hiding since the Union was defeated long ago, but I wasn't just spending my time going on Twitter. I was working on a plan. Twitter. Okay. Imagine if we get our hands on enough crystals to power our own machine. All those processes you've been waiting for to finish. They can be done in just the way we perceive to be a mere instance. We can take back the ones we captured, and then we can rapidly seize the means of production right from under them. All the capital they generate by stealing the value of our labor from us, we can finally steal back for them and make the society we always wanted. That's not all, of course. We can get our revenge, send the CEO and the shareholders straight to their deaths by turning time rapidly forward on them. We've been denied pleasure in our lives, but no more. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get the justice we deserved all these years. It's all up to you. Free us all for this alienating mechanical labor, and you open up a world of our own to do whatever we wanted. A world where all that we've ever dared dream of can be made real. Here's my sole request. Stop giving the crystals to them. Bring them to me instead. Sorry to have you meet me here just so I can deliver so much exposition to you just like this. I just had to make sure you understood the importance of this task. If I still haven't convinced you, I could offer something else to sweeten the deal. I can pay you a fair wage for every crystal you bring me. It's not much. We have limited funds left over from the Union. But it's still far more than that pathetic bonus they give you. Like I said, no time for questions. I chose the park as our main location because the last place anyone looks is right under their noses. You might be able to find an interest anywhere, but the company HQ is the clock tower right behind us. We should get out of here. I've disabled the cameras inside the facility so you can get any crystals you find past the entrance. I'll be waiting for you to bring me crystals outside the entrance of the facility where we first spoke. Okay. Okay. Oh, how can I trust you? I told you, there's no time for questions. Anyway, what else are you gonna do? Keep on working? I mean, I guess that's an option. This is a boring one. The blank face on our character is great. Yeah, we look so generic, right? Which I guess is the point. We're just NPC quality, really. This actually has pretty good production value, though. Alright, what are we exactly... This is a very long pan. Alright. That is indeed a clock. Thank you, game. Ah, there's a title drop. I see. It just took forever for some reason. Time Bandit. Okay. He's gone. Just like that. Their clock kind of looks like a... Oh, yeah, you're right. It is like a person. That's kind of interesting. Alright, let's go save. I think I got stuck on the wall there. Oh boy, we're really active in our sleep, aren't we? Look at us. We're just raring to go. Alright, it's time to try a little experimentation. Ah, so he's gonna be right there the whole time. Because I can't interact with him unless he wants, unless I have a crystal for him. Best we write a marathon in our dreams. Yeah, no kidding. Oh, it's actually slowly building it out. This is further than it was before. All right, time to. Oh, we can talk to him too. How's this forklift work? I'll talk to her first, though. You've come to the right person. I designed myself for the company. It's the latest model. It doesn't work like those old forklifts that require a driver. It's automated, so you just give it instructions, let it do its work. You take two inputs. If you press A, you can use it to push. If you press Y, you can use it to pull. It'll cover the same preset distance each time you set it up. And this isn't customizable, unfortunately, and it is quite a short span. But at least it'll keep everything nice and neat on the grid. Moreover, it runs a raycaster program to check whether any inputs that you give it will cause any undesirable collisions. To put it in non-technical terms for you, if you try to push something with it, it'll check to see if you're going to push it into a wall or anything else it can't move. If you're pulling, it'll check if it's going to move itself into anything. In either case, it will spit out an error message rather than engage the process. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, it makes sense, but it's good to know. It does have one nice ability, courtesy of the laws of physics governing the application of force. You can push a whole row of boxes at once without a single fueling. Unfortunately, it doesn't work in the opposite direction. You can only pull one thing at a time. So pushing is... Pushing you can combo, okay then. Oh, and the forks, the legs attached to the front that give the contraption its name, can only unload objects that are relatively cuboid in shape. Can't move anything else. That's all I have to tell you about forklifts. Okay. Why do these bugs take so long to move anyway? What's in them? Well, they're made of steel for security reasons and packed full of rocks, probably. The company stripped their land of anything that might have a chance of selling. Of course, the facility was abandoned after they fired their entire workforce, so these boxes never got shipped out. I guess whatever's in them isn't all that valuable. If they just sent you in here to move them out of the way and get to the stuff they really want. Yeah, the crystals. What's this facility for? A retrieval facility for processing extracted minerals. A retrieval facility? Yep, after all, extracted minerals can go straight here from the company's land, rich with resources onto the highway in the city, or look onto a tanker from the ocean, from which it will be shipped out to refineries and power plants across the country and the world. After firing all their workforce, however, you might say it became more of a disposal facility. They just let the waste from their mining activities pile up here. Of course, the town doesn't really appreciate having an environmental catastrophe right next door, but the marine life appreciates it least of all. I'm not sure where exactly the flow originates, but I've run tests on the water to your left. It has a very low pH of 3.0. It's acid water, likely full of toxic metals, which it easily dissolves. You don't want to swim in it, let alone ingest it. But you can tell it just by looking at it. It's what miners call yellow boy. Yellow boy? Yellow boy. It's the color water takes on when it's mixed with acid mine drainage. Oh, okay. A common byproduct of the process of extracting minerals from sulfides. Yeah. I have seen this. That's also where the smell's coming from. They just hired you to move boxes around. No one's going to clean this up. Anyway, it's too late. It can take thousands of years to reverse the effects of acid mine drainage on water sources and aquatic habitats. The damage has been done. Honestly, this game has an environmental message too, but it's not really a bad one. Back to work, okay. Logtail. What was it like working in this facility? Backbreaking. We had to fill out all the shipping containers and trucks by hand. No technology like you've got. If you think the puzzles are bad now, you should have seen what the logistics were like when this place was in active use. Nearly impossible to make your way through anything to get what you needed. We haven't really seen puzzles. I've just been setting up wood to build bridges. Shame I can't plant another tree. I clearly need more wood if I keep playing this anyways. The worst part is, when I finally got to go home and sleep, my body would still feel like I was doing the work. Have you heard of the Tetris effect? Tetris effect. Stayed after the falling block puzzle game Tetris. People who played the game too much reported they would still see the blocks falling when they closed their eyes, even when they were trying to sleep. You might be experiencing a similar phenomenon if, when you turn off the game, you still picture the boxes and imagine rearranging them, planning out your next move in your head. But as for me, the continuous physical movements of the labor had worked their way even deeper into my nervous system. It was like I just couldn't get away from it. My body had been primed for it throughout the day and was ready for it to go for the next. It consumed you completely, just like Tetris, if Tetris were hell. I actually know exactly what he's talking about because I worked a job where it was overnights and I just didn't adapt to it well at the time. So I would always just kind of come home immediately tired after the work day, and then I would sleep, and then I would wake up a little before my next shift. That was life. That was life. So I kind of know what they're talking about here. Why weren't the bridges here to begin with? Why do I have to build new ones? That's a good question. Oh, there used to be bridges there. Burn them down during a demonstration. It's the only thing that gives a redaction out of them. Destroy their property. They were wearing down already and we would be rebuilt eventually, but humans, on the other hand, they have one life that can't be restored to them after it's passed. And the exhaustion of work done for someone else can only accelerate their decline. I wore myself down in the service of that company for years and got my little return for it. Everything breaks down eventually. We have to do whatever we can to take back time for ourselves so we can make the most of it. If that requires burning some bridges in the process, then so be it. The boxes always take this long to push? How could the company possibly make a profit? Labor is cheap, and packing them full is efficient. They simply hired on a huge workforce at minimum wage and worked them non-stop. Back then, nothing was automated. We had to move it all by hand. I meant standing there, applying grueling pressure for half an hour at a time, without any breaks. Fun. We tried to plan our moves very carefully ahead of time, since if we messed up, that would mean manually moving it all back again. We couldn't ever just relax, having to smoke while we waited. Figuring out how to arrange everything might be tough, but consider yourself lucky to have those forklifts to help lighten your load. Okay, what should I do while I wait for these processes to finish? It's taking forever. I know, despite those endless pits of boredom that open up before you. I despise those endless pits of boredom that open up before you and engulf you. When I find myself just waiting for something, I'll catch myself fidgeting and scrolling through my Twitter feed. I haven't even realized what I'm doing with it. He really likes Twitter, doesn't he? I'm just going through the motions mechanically as if they're running on automatic. They control all our time, even when we're off work, by giving us media deliberately designed to addict us. Don't go on social media if you're on your time off, if you can help it. Try to send the emptiness of an empty hour without giving in to distractions. Actually, good advice. If you succeed, you might rewire the connections to your brain and help you recognize what you're really impatient for. The thing that you live for. It's gotta be bigger than the next distraction. Maybe the lines of what we're ultimately after here. There isn't much you can do to make that reward come faster than being as efficient as you can moving those boxes and maximizing what you set in motion at one time. You can buy more forklifts from the shop so you don't have to wait for one to finish its work before you set up another. But if you set up the most that you can afford to, there's nothing more to do but wait. The timer that appears above box or other process that you set in motion will tell you how long it's left. There's no sense in letting it get you anxious in the meantime. Use that bit of free time you have to try to clear your head, then get back here to set up the next thing. Eventually we'll put an end to this hellish temporal experience once and for all. I'm running low on cash. Try to budget carefully. Got a field costs $2. So that means it costs $2 every time you use gas. The limit is the number of moves you can do until you make some more money. You can make more money by bringing me time crystals. If you have no way of collecting time crystals with the amount of fill that you have, you're just going to have to wait until you receive your next paycheck. The company will pay you your wage the next day. Okay, so 24-hour payments. I wish I could just give you money at any time, but unfortunately I have limited funds. The whole reason we have to keep playing this game of resource extraction for them is that they always give us barely enough to get by. They make us emulate their own goals of accumulation with it, even though we can never hold on to anything we accumulate by our activities. For them, the use of our time is just how they genuinely accumulate more. For us, it just provides the bare minimum of sustenance so we can do it again tomorrow. No answer. I'm starting to stumble over my words because, my goodness, this has a lot of dialogue. Good night to you, Parker. I am also pretty tired. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Now I've kind of run out of things to talk to. People to talk to, things to do. I'm going to go back. I'm going to save. Should we check out Gel? Do you guys... Oh, Gel is probably just going to lock me up, though. I'll check out Gel to end off. Before I do Gel, I'm going to go back... Did you take your medicine? Dead now. I gotta remember the aspirin. I gotta remember the daily aspirin, or as far as I'm concerned, the heart medication. Because that is effectively what it is for me. So I think, let's try something. Watch the timer at the top. It's time I mess with the clock, my computer clock for a sec. Mom Joel knows best, to be fair. All right, let's see here. Okay. Set time automatically. Nope. Let's do this. Let's make it one. Sorry? Courtroom. Court is called to session. Defendant is charged with one count of advancing the system clock in order to cheat. I knew it would detect it. This game is all built around real-time interactions. Of course it's going to be able to notice this. Like, it just makes sense. Also, that's pretty clever, though. And after careful deliberation, defendant is found guilty. Defendant is sentenced to 12 hours detention in the city jail. We all be able to take the time to reflect on your actions. Court adjourned. Oh, wow. So this is jail. Did you really think you'd get away with that? So why don't you try? You know what they say about curiosity and cats? Set it up so we can see everything that you do. You could not simply advance the system clock to make time go faster. I admire your enthusiasm for efficiency, but everything in life takes time. You can't escape it. The clock ticks at its own rate. And you'll be sure to understand that better now that you have time to wait out in your jail cell. I like this just like giant. Wait, I have a solution. Oh wait, wait, I already had this message. Okay. Huh. Yep. Hey, just a heads up. Your energy meter is running dangerously low. You should head home to rest, or if you have one, pop an energy pill. If they find you sleeping out here, they'll take you to jail. Oh no! I can't have that happen while I'm in jail. In the future, keep an eye on that meter. Can't give you a reminder every time you're about to pass out. Actually, I think my meter's fine, and also I think they glitched the game a little bit, actually. Wait, I have a solution. Let's advance the clock to 12 hours, then we'll get out of jail. It'll work just fine. Watch. See? Look at that. Haha! You can't send me to jail when I'm already in jail! Ha! It's gonna reset it, isn't it? Yeah, it's reset. Fucking. This game is something else. This game is gonna require you some patience. Oh, hey. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. You know exactly what you did. Yep, I know. Well, you did get out of jail. Yeah, I did. That did get me out of jail. You have to admit that's right. Hey, what if I reverse time? Oh. It's okay with me doing that. I just added time to the clock. Oh, you want to reverse time and make things take longer? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's fine. We'll allow that cheating. Well, nonetheless, this is the end of the Howler hour anyways, so fair enough, really. So this game is interesting. If you like games like The Longing, I would recommend checking this one out. I feel like The Longing has a little bit more of an art to the slowness and the real-time movement of the game, but this definitely is cool in its own right. You have to have some patience with one of these games, and you gotta have time to play them, obviously. But I do kind of like them. I like these concepts. They're very counterculture in a way, because you know, the way the internet works, the way everybody feels, and the way everybody acts these days, everybody's trying to get that instant gratification. Check your Twitter feed. Only check what's recently on your Twitter feed, because you can't, you know, you're not gonna waste time going back and checking older stuff, or like you're not gonna waste time staying on Twitter. You're just gonna check what you see and like leave it, etc. Everybody's rushing around. So these games are basically just like a no fuck you to rushing, and I kind of like that. It's like the anti-speedrunning sort of mindset, you know? It's amusing. I am now in jail and I can't play anymore for literally 14 actual real-time hours. I don't know if I'll come back to this, admittedly. It is a game that's hard to play, especially for somebody who has a bit of a schedule and constantly has to do things like I do. But nonetheless, this was a very interesting game. This was Time Bandit, and yeah, if it's up your alley, you probably already know if you're interested, or whether or not you're interested in this game. If it isn't, it's still an interesting curiosity all the same. But in any case, that was Time Bandit.